I found out my girlfriend had been planning my exit from her life while asking me to help pay for her future. I wish I was exaggerating. I wish this was one of those overdramatic Reddit posts where people jump to conclusions and everything turns out to be a misunderstanding. But no, this was calculated, patient, and honestly kind of terrifying in how normal she acted the entire time. I'm 27 met my now ex-girlfriend, Aisha, 25F, and I were together for just over 2 years. We met through a mutual friend at a small birthday gathering. She was quiet at first, but when we started talking, it felt easy, like we had already known each other. She told me early on that she had been through a rough past relationship. "I just want something stable," she said one night while we were sitting in my car outside her apartment. "No games, no lies." Looking back, that line hits differently. In the beginning, everything felt right. We didn't rush into anything. Dates were simple. Chai spots, late-night drives, cheap food places where we'd sit for hours. She used to laugh a lot back then, like genuinely laugh. About 3 months in, she lost her job. "I'll find something soon," she told me, trying to sound confident. "I just need a little time." I didn't think much of it. People lose jobs, it happens. At first, I just helped here and there. Paid for dinners, covered rides. Then it slowly became more. "Hey, can you help me with my electricity bill this month? I'll pay you back. Can you order groceries? I haven't been paid yet. Just this once, I promise." And yeah, she did pay me back. Once or twice. Enough to build trust, then it stopped. By the 1-year mark, I was basically covering most of her expenses. Not everything, but enough that it mattered. My friends started noticing. "Bro, you're doing a lot," my friend Hamza said one night. "She's going through a tough time," I replied. "It's temporary." He didn't argue, but the look he gave me stuck. The first real red flag didn't feel like a red flag at the time. It was her phone. Aisha used to be super casual about it. She'd leave it around, hand it to me to play music, even ask me to reply to messages sometimes. Then suddenly, it changed. She started keeping it face down, taking it with her everywhere, even to the kitchen, locking it instantly whenever I got close. I noticed, but I didn't want to be that guy. Then came the comments. One night, we were talking about the future. "I want to be settled by 27, she said. "Like financially secure, maybe even abroad." "Abroad?" I asked. "Yeah, UK, maybe Canada. Somewhere better." I laughed lightly. "That's a big move." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Yeah, you have to think ahead." Something about the way she said it felt separate. Like she wasn't including me in that future. The truth didn't come from some dramatic confrontation. It came from a stupid accidental moment. She was at my place one evening, getting ready for a dinner we had planned. She left her phone on the bed while she went to shower. It buzzed. I wasn't planning to check it, I swear. But the notification preview showed just enough. "Once you're done with him, we can finally..." That was it. That's all I saw. And yeah, I picked up the phone. I know, privacy, trust, all that. But in that moment, something in my chest just dropped. Her phone wasn't locked. I opened the message. It was from someone saved as Sana Office. The chat went back months. At first, it looked normal. Work talk, random gossip. Then I scrolled further, and then I saw it. "Sana, how long are you going to keep this going?" Aisha, "Relax, I just need a few more months." "Sana, you're literally using him." Aisha, "I know, but he's convenient." Sana, "That's messed up." Aisha, "I'm not marrying him. I just need to get stable first." My hand started shaking. I kept scrolling. Aisha, "He's already paying most of my expenses." Aisha, "Once I get the visa sorted, I'm out." Sana, "Does he know?" Aisha, "Obviously not. He thinks we're building a future." That laughing emoji felt like a punch in the face. But it got worse. There were voice notes. I didn't even hesitate. I played one. Her voice, calm, casual. "Look, I'm not a bad person, okay? I need to survive. He's stable, he helps, and he doesn't ask questions. Once I'm set, I'll leave. It's not like we're married." I paused it. I remember just sitting there staring at the wall, trying to process how the person I had been building my life around saw me as a stepping stone. I didn't confront her that night. When she came out of the shower, I acted normal. "Ready?" I asked. "Yeah," she smiled. "Let's go." I even paid for dinner like always, but something inside me had switched. I wasn't angry, not yet. I was focused. Over the next few weeks, I started collecting everything. Screenshots of chats when I got the chance. I sent myself the voice notes. I kept track of every expense I was covering. I even recorded a few conversations. Nothing illegal or creepy, just when she'd casually say things like, "Can you handle the rent this month? I'm a bit short. You don't mind, right? You know I'd do the same for you." That line almost made me laugh. I also started pulling back financially, but slowly. Hey, I'm a bit tight this month, I told her once. Oh, she said, clearly annoyed. Okay, no concern. No, are you okay? Just irritation. That confirmed everything. Meanwhile, she started talking more about her plans. I might apply for a program abroad, she said one evening. It's a good opportunity. That's great, I replied. Yeah, it's expensive though. Of course it is. I waited for the right moment. It came about a month later. She invited me to a small get-together with a few of her friends. Sana was there too. Perfect. We were all sitting in her living room, chatting, laughing. On the surface, everything looked normal. At one point, Aisha brought up her plans. I'm actually applying abroad, she said proudly. Hopefully leaving by the end of the year. Everyone congratulated her. I smiled. That's amazing. She looked at me, maybe expecting hesitation. I just nodded. Then I said casually, do they know how you're funding it? The room went quiet for a second. What do you mean? She asked, her smile tightening. I pulled out my phone. I mean, do they know about this? I played the voice note. Her voice filled the room. He's stable, he helps, and he doesn't ask questions. Once I'm set, I'll leave. Silence. Saina's face went pale. Aisha just stared at me. What the hell are you doing? She whispered. I didn't stop. I showed the messages. The screenshots, the timestamps. Convenient, I read aloud. That's what I was, right? Stop, she said louder now. No, I replied, my voice steady. You've had 2 years. You can listen for 2 minutes. Her friends looked shocked, some embarrassed, some angry. You used me, I continued. You planned this, you laughed about it. It's not like that, she started. It is exactly like that, I cut in. And the best part, you almost got away with it. She looked around, desperate. You're making me look like a villain. I let out a short laugh. I'm not making you anything. I'm just showing who you are. I left right after that. No shouting match, no dramatic exit. Just done. She tried calling me later, texting. I can explain. You misunderstood. You're overreacting. I didn't respond. Instead, I sent her one final message. I hope it was worth it. Then I blocked her. It's been a few months now. I won't lie, it messed me up for a while. Trust doesn't come back easily after something like that. But it also taught me something important. Not everyone who asks for help deserves it. And not everyone who says they love you actually means it. Sometimes, you're not their partner. You're just their plan, and the worst part? They'll smile at you every day, while quietly preparing your replacement. I guess the only thing I'm glad about is this. She thought I wasn't paying attention. She was wrong. If you thought that was the end of it, I did too. I really believed that exposing her in front of her friends would be the final chapter. Clean break, lesson learned. Move on. That's not how it went. Because about a week after I cut her off completely, something happened that made me realize I hadn't even seen the full picture yet. Aftermath. The silence that wasn't peaceful. The first few days after everything went down were weirdly quiet. Too quiet. No calls. No messages, no drama. It almost felt controlled, like she was waiting. Hamza came over one night with food, sat across from me and just said, "You okay?" "I think so," I replied. "You don't sound convinced." "I'm not," I admitted. "It just feels unfinished," he nodded slowly. People like that don't just walk away quietly. That line stuck with me. And right on cue, the silence broke. I got a message, not from her, from an unknown number. "You really think you're the victim here?" I stared at the screen for a good minute before replying. "Who is this?" Typing bubble appeared instantly. Someone who knows the full story. Yeah, my stomach dropped. "Then say it clearly," I typed. A few seconds passed. Then, "You weren't the only one." I felt something cold run through me. What does that mean? The reply came with a screenshot. A bank transfer, not from me, from someone else. Same name, Aisha. The pattern. Over the next hour, that unknown number sent me more. Screenshots, conversations, payment confirmations, different guys. Different amounts, same pattern. I wasn't special. I wasn't even unique. I was just one of many. The realization hit harder than the betrayal itself. Because in my head, this had been personal. A relationship that went wrong. A girl who used me. But this was a system. I finally asked, "Who are you?" The reply came, someone she couldn't fool completely. Then another message. "My name's Fahad." Fahad and I ended up talking that same night. Turns out he had been dating Aisha too. Not at the same time as me. At least that's what he thought at first. "I met her about 8 months ago," he said during a call. "She told me her ex was toxic, that she was rebuilding her life." I let out a bitter laugh. "Sounds familiar." "Yeah," he said. "She asked for small help at first, then bigger. I didn't think much of it until I noticed inconsistencies." "What kind?" "Stories not matching up. Disappearing for days, and the biggest one, She never let me come to her place. That hit me, because I had been to her place a lot, which meant she was managing multiple versions of her life. Carefully, strategically. The bigger truth, Fahad had something I didn't. Patience. I didn't confront her, he said. I started digging. He had tracked timelines, compared chats, even found 2 other guys through small clues. Usernames, tagged posts, mutual connections. By the time he contacted me, he already suspected there were more. You exposing her publicly? I asked. Helped, he replied. She panicked. How do you know? Because she started cleaning up, deleting accounts, cutting people off. That explained the silence. It wasn't peace. It was damage control. At this point, I had 2 choices. Walk away and forget everything, or finish what had already started. A few months ago, I would have chosen the first. But now I wanted closure. Not revenge, not drama. Just truth. So I asked Fahad, what if we bring everyone together? There was a pause. Then he said, you're thinking the same thing I am. The setup. It took about 2 weeks. We reached out to the other guys, carefully. No accusations, just proof. Some didn't respond. Some didn't believe us at first. But 2 of them did. And once they saw the evidence, everything clicked. Same messages, same excuses, same temporary struggle, same promises. We weren't 4 separate stories. We were one pattern. We decided to meet. Neutral place, no drama. Just compare everything in person. The realization. Sitting there with 3 other guys who had lived different versions of the same relationship was surreal. One of them, Ali, just kept shaking his head. I was about to propose, he said quietly. No one had a response to that. Fahad leaned back and said, she's been running this for at least 2 years. 2 years. That number hit differently, because that's exactly how long I had been with her. Which meant she didn't start this with me. She perfected it on me. We didn't want chaos. No public scenes this time. Just a controlled ending. Fahad suggested we call her out. Together. One last meeting. She agreed. That was the surprising part. Maybe she thought she could still talk her way out. She walked into the cafe looking confident. That confidence lasted about 5 seconds, because she saw all of us, at the same table, waiting. She froze. What is this? She asked. I didn't answer. Fahad did. This, he said calmly, is the full story. She looked at me. You did this? I met her gaze. No, you did. Then one by one, we started talking. Not shouting, not accusing. Just laying out facts. Dates, payments, messages, voice notes. Every version of her lies, side by side. For the first time since I had known her. She had nothing to say. At first, she tried to deny it. This is insane, she said. You're all twisting things. Then the evidence kept coming, and her tone changed. You don't understand, she said. I had no choice, Ali snapped. You had multiple choices. You chose this. Silence again. Then something I didn't expect. She laughed. Not nervously, not awkwardly. Just laughed. You all think you're victims, she said. But you gave willingly. That was the moment everything became clear. No regret. No guilt. Just justification. We didn't argue after that. There was nothing left to say. We all just stood up and left, together. And for the first time, I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel betrayed. I felt done. Completely done. A few days later, I heard she moved out. Deleted her socials, changed her number. Started over somewhere else. Maybe with someone new. Maybe running the same story again. I don't know. And honestly, I don't care anymore. What I learned. People always talk about red flags like they're obvious. They're not. Sometimes they look like trust, like patience, like love. And sometimes by the time you see them clearly, you're already deep in it. But here's the thing no one tells you. Closure doesn't come from confronting the other person. It comes from finally seeing the truth, without excuses. I spent 2 years being her plan, but I walked away being something else entirely. Someone who won't ignore the signs again. Someone who knows the difference between love and convenience. And if she ever tries this again with someone else, I just hope they notice sooner than I did. Because the scariest part isn't being used. It's how easily someone can pretend to care, while quietly calculating your worth.